Today we're going to talk about networking, and I mean really networking, not just like a hey, hello, how are you doing? My name is Austin, but like really networking and connecting with people. The thing is, you've probably all heard the saying, your network is your net worth. Why did that become a saying? I believe it became a saying because people realized the value of having an extensive network. A lot of times in life, you can have the same skills, the same abilities, the same talents as somebody else, but because you are more connected than that person, you could be winning 10 times more than that person is, right? Now, it's not to say that that person is not going to win. It's not to say that it's not possible, but it's just a lot harder without a network. So building that network is a huge asset for anybody. You need to build a network in order to accelerate your success in business. We're not coming into the room with absolutely no value, but we're accelerating our success by leveraging our network and building a network very strategically that allows us to grow our business. So number one, when you're going into a networking event or maybe just like an after party or something like that, you have to stand out. I go to a lot of networking events. I spend a lot of time meeting people, networking, and I don't remember most people. It's not because I have a bad memory. It's because they just didn't stand out. And you have this happen at just about every single networking event. There's just people, right? So there's people and then there's that person. So you want to become that person, that guy, that girl, whatever it is. There were a lot of people, but there was that one person that I met and I'm like, wow, this one person like really stood out to me because of X, Y, Z. So you need to figure out what makes you stand out. If you're trying to meet somebody who's like very high level, the higher up they get, it often means that they've met more and more people, right? The higher the caliber of that person, maybe of their business or their success is, it's likely that they know more people than the average person. So it's even harder to stand out, right? So you have to be very strategic about how you're standing out as a person. But I believe if you can stand out and make an impression, that goes a long way. You need to become the person that they met in that group of people. So make sure you find a way to become that person and to stand out. Number two, we want to make sure that we're leading with value. So when we're meeting somebody, we're not immediately thinking of, oh, what can I get from this person? Or how can this person help me? No, you are there to provide value to people who are at that event. That's the point of networking. Now, I know some people go to networking events and they're a little bit selfish about it. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to meet everybody that I possibly can and would want to do business with me. And then I'm just going to leave. Right? Well, no, that's not really how networking works. You could maybe sustain that for a little while, but it's probably not going to work long term because people are going to realize that you're just there because you want something from them. It's not a real relationship. Whereas if you go to the event and you're simply just giving and providing value here and sharing some advice here and sharing your experience here, the more you share and the more you provide value to other people, the better off you are, because it may not even be that person that you want to meet. Maybe it's somebody that they know, but because you provided, and by the way, this has happened to me so many times, because I provided so much value to that person, they may not even have been interesting for me to network with, but I provided value to them and they're like, oh, hey, you know what? Actually, I know this one guy I need you to meet. I'm going to put you in a group chat with them. And I can't even tell you guys how many times this has happened, by the way. Like so many times people just put me in a quick group chat with somebody that they're close to and that I would like to meet. And I don't have to spend that time trying to get into their inner circle and like all that stuff, because that person just introduced me, and through that warm relationship I was able to get connected to that person, and now we do business together, we partner, all that stuff. So of course it's going to look very different for every single person that's doing the networking, but that's a super easy hack for networking events, is just provide so much value that people want to introduce you to other people in their circle. Thirdly, and this is a very important point, don't expect anything. You're providing value because you want to improve their business, their life, whatever it is. You're providing value. That's it. It stops there. Don't expect anything. If you expect things, people can feel that energy. They're like trying to be helpful, but like, I just feel like he's trying to sell me something. It repels people. So don't be that guy that expects something. Whenever I go to a networking event, I just share as much value as I possibly can, and I do not expect anything. And that way, you're never disappointed either, because if something does come out of it, you're like, wow, that's a huge win. Like, I got a new relationship out of it. Awesome. Like, this is great. I met this person that I've been wanting to meet for a long time, and I didn't have an expectation of meeting them, but it was just a nice surprise. It totally changes your perspective when going to these events and not expecting anything. Number 4, make sure you know something. Whether that's researching the news, maybe just spend an hour or two looking at current financial news before going to a finance networking event. So at least to have something to talk about, learn something so that when you go, you have some substance to share. You can't share value with people if you don't know anything. And knowing things gets you in the room and gets you in the conversation. You'll notice that when people realize that you know something, they will be interested in talking to you because they also want to learn those things. So that's your opportunity to provide value. And finally, number 5, be okay with no outcome. If you go to that event and there's just nobody interesting that you want to meet, that's kind of the thing with networking events. You never know how they're going to go. So I always go with no expectation of anything, because I would rather have no outcome than meeting the wrong people or wasting my time talking to people that I'm just not really interested in. So whenever I go to a networking event, I'm okay with no outcome. Even if I just shared value with every single person in the room and nobody even gave me their email address, I'm okay with that, because I have in my mind the understanding that if I provide value, eventually, somewhere, somehow, it's going to come back around to me. And I'm not worried about a specific outcome of a specific event, but overall, I know that those things are going to come to me. So anyways, guys, those are the 5 things that can help you become a better networker. And I mean, like really, really good networking, right? This is top tier networking that I'm talking about here. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.